The NBA regular season is a tool used to really measure and differentiate the great teams from the not so great teams in the NBA. But the lines have really been getting blurred these past couple of seasons, and that trend continues this year with a lot of above 500 teams stuck in the play-in, when in the other conference they might really be in solidified playoff spot. This play-in tournament is going to be real interesting this season. What's goody? It's your host, Jay Rose, as always, and the NBA play-in tournament is looking real stacked right now. We have really great teams with a lot of star power stuck in the play-in tournament this season, and I feel like one way or another, we're going to see at least a couple of those teams stay in that position and have to duke it out for a playoff spot. Let's get into it. Over 90% of the people that watch my content are not subscribed, so if you're messing with the videos, please hit that sub button and the noti bell so you'll get notified every time I upload. But let's get back to the hoops. If we go from seed 4 to seed 10, that is an 8-game difference. That is a super close race. One of the higher seeds in the league, only 8 games away, and possibly could drop if they go on a losing streak. The LA Clippers are currently in the 4th seed, and the Warriors are in the 10th seed. An 8-game gap between them is very narrow of a gap for the amount of seeds in between them, in my opinion. And then we also look at the 1st seed to the 10th seed is only 11.5 games, and in comparison, if you look at the Eastern Conference, 1 to 10 is a 22-game gap. So the West is absolutely going to be a dogfight in the playoffs. But focusing closer in on the play-in teams, the Phoenix Suns at number 7, the Dallas Mavericks at number 8, the Los Angeles Lakers at number 9, and the Golden State Warriors at number 10. I feel like the Mavericks and the Suns have a great chance to get into the playoffs, which would slide New Orleans and Sacramento back most likely. I feel like the Clippers aren't completely out of the clear yet. Something that I do find funny about the seeding right now is that I feel like there's a lot more star power on the play-in teams than a lot of these other teams. Like if you look at the Phoenix Suns, you have one of the best offensive duos in the NBA, period. Like I've said, a lot of the more organically built teams do end up being better. But in a playoff series, especially against a young team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, that star power can make a difference. You look at the Mavericks, same deal. 2 of the best offensive players in the league, the best offensive guard duo, the best guard duo in the NBA, period, is on the Dallas Mavericks. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Crazy scoring, top scorers without free throws in the NBA. There's not really much you can say. One of the most skilled duos of all time. And they're as an 8th seed right now. Crazy. We look at the Los Angeles Lakers, just went to the Western Conference Finals last season. They got LeBron, they got AD, they got Reeves, they got Hachimura. They have a very well-built roster. D'Lo's been turning it up this season. Who knows what they could do in the playoffs? They went to the Western Conference Finals last season out the play-in tournament. And that star power, that experience, that finals experience plays big parts in these teams going on playoff runs. Absolutely. And then Golden State, star power is really just Steph Curry at the moment. Kuminga has been playing very, very well. Klay Thompson has been playing a little bit better in his bench role. And then we have Draymond Green, you know what I'm saying, the core of the Warriors that I feel is a little bit washed, and Wiggs, Kuminga, a couple of other guys. Podziemski is there. I feel like that's still a pretty good team. Not as good as the other 3 in my opinion, but still a pretty good team. And not far off seeding wise and wins wise. They're not. Right now, if we were to start the play-in, the Suns would have to go up against the Mavericks. The Suns would be hosting since they're the higher seed by literally half of a game. And that would be a crazy matchup. We got the rivalry. We got Luka Doncic versus D-Buck. And then we got KD and Kyrie. 2 great offensive teams. Very suspect on defense. I feel like the Mavericks have absolutely made moves to make me believe that they're better than the Suns past the trade deadline. I think that's a matchup that would favor the Mavericks. Pretty sure we've come out on top most of the time when we've played Phoenix this season. But regardless, that is a great matchup, an amazing matchup. And whoever loses that game has to go up against the winner of LA Golden State. And I feel like Golden State is absolutely a weaker team this season. They're still above 500 with a 34-31 record. They are the 10th seed. I feel like they're more than likely going to stay there. I don't see them really bumping up too far. If they're going to surpass a team, it would probably just be the Lakers, who have been pretty mediocre this season compared to their expectation. I definitely expected the Lakers to do a lot more. But the winner of Suns Mavs has to go up against the winner of LA Golden State. Whoever loses LA Golden State is out of contention, and then whoever wins that second matchup, they both go on to the play-in tournament. I feel like the most likely thing to happen is Dallas and LA making it out of here. I want to say, if you give me one game, I'm taking LeBron every time. And I feel like LeBron has shown me that a lot of times. If you're gonna give LeBron one game, if you need one game out of LeBron, he gonna give you that one game. We seen it in that Celtics series back in 2012. Christ, we seen it in a in-season tournament this season. You give LeBron one game eliminations, he's gonna do that. LeBron was in the play-in last year and he made it out. LeBron was in the play-in 3 years ago and he made it out. So I'm just saying, if you give LeBron the opportunity, one game elim, I'm taking LeBron every time. I feel like the Lakers most likely are gonna come out of this, even if they do start off as the lower seed. I feel like these teams in the play-in could do a lot of damage to some of the teams with solidified spots. Obviously, whoever makes it out of the play-in would only be the 7th and 8th seeds. So I said the Lakers and Mavericks are going to make it out. So we're just going to stick with that for the rest of the video. And I'm going to start off with the Mavericks because they would be the higher seed in that scenario. I'm not afraid of the Thunder. I'm not afraid of the Thunder at all. We just actually played the Thunder last night with no Luka and lost by like 6 points, I think. Not afraid of the Thunder. We've shown that we could beat them multiple times throughout the season, even if we did not win those games. And there was one specific game where we blew the Thunder out by like 40 points. I'm not afraid of the Thunder. I feel like they're a very, very good team. I think that they've made strides to become better this season. And I also think that they have the potential to make a deep playoff run, but if there's any team that's a top seed that I am not afraid of, it would be the OKC Thunder. Denver, on the other hand, Denver is going to cause some problems. I think Denver is the best team in the Western Conference, and I said LA would go up against Denver. I don't think LA is beating Denver. Personally, I don't even think Dallas would beat Denver. I do think that, like I said, I think Dallas and LA probably have a chance against every team in the Western Conference. But I think Denver is the best team and probably have the lowest odds of beating that team. I'm not really afraid of the Timberwolves. I think the Clippers could be very dangerous in the playoffs if they're fully healthy. New Orleans has never been to the playoffs fully healthy, so I'm not sure what they're going to look like. Sacramento was very, very good in the playoffs last year against Golden State, but then again, Golden State's defense was very suspect, and Sacramento had the #1 offense last year. They've moved all the way down to 12, 13 this season, so I'm not sure that they're going to have that same offensive power. From where I'm standing, the Suns, Mavericks, Lakers, and I'm not sure about the Warriors this season. I'm really not. I'm not too sure if they could pull it off, but with Steph Curry on your roster, if they could pull a couple of great performances together, I believe that all 4 of these teams have a decent shot at beating anybody in this NBA right now, or in the Western Conference at the very least. Like I said, the Nuggets are the best team. I'm the least confident about beating the Nuggets. But if we're going up against OKC, I think Dallas got that. I think LA could get that, and I think Phoenix could definitely get that. Like I said, I'm not too sure about Golden State. We're going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Dallas Mavericks could do that, especially with Karl Anthony Towns being out. The Suns could do that, especially with Karl Anthony Towns being out. And with Cat being out, the Lakers are now at a huge advantage because of how big they are. So I do think that all of these teams realistically could cause some damage. The Clippers are interesting. I feel like the Clippers at full health are actually going to do a ton of damage in the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs is a different beast. James Harden is not, but with all of these guys on your roster, you have PG, you have Kawhi, you have a decent supporting cast. You got Norman Powell, you got Zubats, you got Terrence Mann. They're a very, very good team, the Clippers are, so they could do a lot more damage as well. I feel like the 2 teams I'm the least confident about beating are probably the Nuggets and Clippers. Everybody else in the West could really get the smoke. Seriously. So I'm just going to pray that the Mavericks get one of these teams that I'm confident about, because I'm confident about beating them for a reason. And we're going to leave it at that. I'm very excited to watch the play-in, because outside of the playoffs and how all of this could pan out, we've seen that play-in teams can in fact make an impact. And this is not me just chatting. The Heat went to the finals last year, and the Lakers went to the conference finals last year, both out of the play-in tournament. So I'm very confident that a play-in team, especially when the records are so close, that I don't think that there's a huge gap between these teams anyways. So these play-in teams can absolutely play a crucial role in the playoffs. The play-in is going to be a dogfight. It's going to be super entertaining, super fun. I do hope it stays the way it does, low-key. I'd love for the Mavericks to get a solidified playoff spot. but I also want to watch that one game Elam Mavericks versus Suns. I feel like that would be awesome. I feel like another one game Elam versus the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors would be awesome. There's always a banger whenever LeBron and Steph go up against each other, so I'm not against that either. I'm very excited for this playoffs, man. We got about 15 games left in the regular season, and I'm really ready for this playoffs to begin. I'm hyped. Leave your thoughts about the playing teams and how you think they're gonna fare in the comments down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.